Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I need to give a wake-up call because the post-lunch session is always a challenging session. In academia, we call it the graveyard shift, where people are full of food, and after that, to keep them awake is a big challenge. So for the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to indulge you with some interesting stories of how this whole new concept of corridors being built, bridges being built to create a new world of community, of communication, of collaboration, and conquests. Conquests not of territories, but conquests, talents, and knowledge and wisdom. I'm a professor, so professors ask questions. How many of you have heard of this person called Ibn Battuta? Not more. Ibn Battuta. So God bless you, sir. We have a couple of hands up. Ibn Battuta was many centuries ago a traveler. That's how people know him. But beyond being a traveler, he went across from countries, built bridges of knowledge and collaboration, and created new kinds of partnerships all the way from Tunisia and Morocco to be more specific, and then across to China, to Asia, to Europe, and across the world. So here was somebody many, many centuries back when you didn't have Boeings and Airbuses to take you across, when private jets were just human imagination. You had somebody who was able to cross oceans and create new collaborations. And then came something interesting called the Silk Road. A Silk Road which opened up new trade opportunities, new spice routes, new collaboration opportunities and ideas, and they went ahead to create new paradigms in trade and business across the world. Now here in the 21st century, we are talking about the new Silk Road of skills. Many of you, okay, second question. Which is the world's most valuable company? It's $4 trillion and still counting. NVIDIA beat Apple long back. NVIDIA is 4.3 trillion and still counting. And NVIDIA's founder chairman is a Taiwanese gentleman called Jensen Huang. And that's the one who now probably heads the most valuable company. And then if you look at Microsoft, you look at IBM, you look at FedEx, you look at all these companies, Adobe, look at Chanel, and you find Eastern knowledge becoming leaders in their respective companies. It talks about a cross collaboration of ideas and knowledge moving from one part of the world to look at opportunities in another part of the world. My slide changer is not working, my friend. Yeah, right now. Okay, got it. Okay, so for us to reimagine what Ibn Battuta and the original Silk Road did many, many centuries back is a quest towards building new kinds of bridges which focus on what we call talent. So the original one was all about trade and culture and economic connectivity. Today, in a knowledge economy which is now probably dominated by two single words called artificial intelligence, the key factor is how you bridge those bridges with the new kind of human intellect and human skills. And that's probably the biggest exciting opportunity that we have. Third question. How many nationalities live in the city of Dubai? Anybody? 100? Okay. Dr. Yossi says that because I told him that a few months back when he met me. 206 nationalities to be more precise. And this number has to be looked in the context of the United Nations, which has 195 countries. So Dubai, as the epitome of the cultural global center, has a larger number of nationalities than even the United Nations. That's the power. And in fact, the last panel discussion spoke about the magnetic pull of Dubai because it's inclusive, it's appreciative of multiple cultures, and opens the gateways for a series of opportunities that can be tapped by anybody from any part of the world. And you may be also aware that millionaires from Hong Kong, from Australia, from the United Kingdom are moving over to Dubai for all the right reasons, not just the tax benefits. There are many other opportunities galore that are bringing people from across the world. So new kinds of silk roads that are being formed to create new kinds of build new kinds of bridges and new kinds of corridors. So for us, the Silk Road today is all about knowledge exchange. It's about talent flow from different parts of the world and creating what we like to call an innovation ecosystem. Some of you may have heard of the Dubai Future Academy. You may have heard of the Museum of the Future. I, for one, was very intrigued when the Museum of the Future was started. Museums worldwide are relics of the past. For the first time in the history of civilization, here's a city that reimagined the future and said, we're going to build a museum of the future. And that probably translates into the soul of the city, which is about forward thinking rather than sitting and enjoying the past. And I think the new Silk Road of skills is all about attracting the best talents from all over the world and creating an ecosystem where people can come in, live, work, do business, and intellectuate the rest of the world to do all kinds of things. So when the East meeting, how many minutes more do I have? 2 minutes? Okay. So starting with the story of Ibn Battuta and moving on to create this huge knowledge expansion, the opportunities galore for us. What we need is a breaking of walls. And guess what? Where are these walls? These walls are in our minds. We just need to break those walls in those minds. At the mid of the COVID crisis 2020, award-winning Dutch historian Rutger Bregman wrote a very simple book with a very simple title. I would recommend you to read it. It's called Human Kind. Human Kind. And what he proved was that scientifically, biologically, anthropologically, historically, we are one large family. Throughout the history of human civilizations, humans have come together, collaborated with each other, cooperated with each other, and contributed to the betterment of everyone. That's the power of human empathy, human kindness, and human compassion. It's time to break those barriers right in our minds and create new corridors, new bridges, because the talent from across the world can meet at any point. Together, we can make the world a better place. Thank you very much. And thanks for listening.